A massive portion of the world's energy travels fully exposed, loaded onto ships carving through dark, isolated ocean waters. This map shows the passage between Oman and Iran. Around 20%. Those gas prices put continuous strain on household budgets and fuel domestic inflation. To cool that inflation, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has to manage interest rates, often while navigating intense, highly visible political pressure. That economic friction collides with a deeply polarized domestic environment. The U.S. is constantly navigating election cycles where major political figures demand absolute media and public attention. At the exact same time, the foundational legal structure of the country is frequently challenged, with the Supreme Court repeatedly weighing in on complex congressional maps and national debates over voting rights.
Add to that a severe physical security crisis. U.S. officials and task forces fighting a highly dangerous ongoing battle against cartels to track and dismantle synthetic opioid supply lines at the southern border. When you combine energy costs, monetary debates, deep political divisions, and physical border crises, you get a deeply distracted Washington. That intense internal focus restricts America's ability to swiftly maneuver overseas.
Halfway across the world, China is facing its own intense internal pressure. Millions of university students are graduating and pouring into a highly strained youth job market. Traditional entry-level jobs are vanishing as companies automate administrative and technical sectors, leaving millions of graduates overqualified for a shrinking pool of roles.
Addressing this youth unemployment is currently one of Beijing's absolute top priorities. To maintain social stability, they must keep their massive coastal manufacturing hubs running at full capacity. But powering those massive factories relies heavily on maritime shipments of oil and liquid natural gas, bringing us right back to the vulnerability of the Strait of Hormuz. If China cannot secure continuous, affordable energy, its factories face serious risks of slowing down. Relying on an ocean passage thousands of miles away, one patrolled by the US, is an unacceptable geopolitical risk for Beijing. Then there is Moscow. Western sanctions have severely limited their gas sales to Europe, isolating their heavily sanctioned economy. Russia desperately requires a permanent, guaranteed revenue stream to sustain its domestic industries and fund its ongoing war in Ukraine.
We see the physical results of this required capital on the front lines. Moscow runs a systematic campaign of high-precision strikes directly targeting Ukraine's civilian power grids, forcing Kyiv to divert massive resources towards constant municipal repairs. For Moscow, finding a motivated, non-Western buyer in Asia is an absolute strategic necessity for the survival of the state and the continuation of the conflict. These domestic pressures create a perfect convergence. China requires secure, non-oceanic energy to employ its youth, and Russia requires guaranteed capital for its war. To solve their internal problems, they are abandoning the vulnerable oceans entirely. They are building massive overland infrastructure, like the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline, to pump natural gas straight from Russia into China. Once fully realized, this pipeline locks in a long-term energy security pact that physically circumvents Western maritime choke points and the naval pressure that comes with them.
Faced with compounded economic pressures, large nations are prioritizing their own internal stability. We are watching unified global coalitions tighten into distinct, deeply connected regional blocs. In a complex global system increasingly driven by internal domestic crises, local actions now generate massive, unavoidable ripples. A shifting trade thousands of miles away can influence job markets in Shenzhen, sustain a war effort in Kyiv, and redraw the map of power.